Hey, it's Danish from Local Niche Marketing. And if you are a complete beginner starting out learning Go High Level, um, like the workflows inside Go High Level, then this video is a right fit for you because we are going to cover each and every aspect of the workflows or automations inside Go High Level. So I will start with my own experience. When I started learning GoHighLevel, there was no workflows. However, there were campaigns and triggers. That was very difficult in terms of workflows. But if you're a beginner and just starting out, then this might feel very overwhelming for you to understand what the triggers are, what is an action, how you can troubleshoot a workflow, and then how you can do different actions or filter different triggers based on the criteria of your business. Now, in this video, we are going to use examples to more clearly explain what the triggers are, how actions are done after a certain trigger is executed. We will going to see workflow settings. We are going to see how naming conventions can save your time while troubleshooting the workflows. We are going to see what kind of recipes Go High Level already offers, and then we are going to see what kind of bulk actions we can take uh, inside the platform. So let's just get started. Now, before we move into the dashboard of High Level, I want you to uh, clarify the concept of trigger and action. Think of a trigger as a trigger of a gun. So when it gets pulled, the action is the bullet is going to be fired. Same applies inside Go High Level. So when a trigger is executed, so the trigger is pulled, there are going to be certain actions uh, that are going to be performed inside the workflows. So keep that in mind while building workflows. So just let's get started with our uh, tutorial or this video. So once you go inside the automation, first thing, in order to make your account more clean, you always need to create folders. And I'm saying this because while you're managing a lot of campaigns, um, you need to have different folders. So once you have built your entire system, you know that, hey, look, this workflow that I've built was for the folder website marketing. And this particular workflow that I've built for Facebook ads is under the Facebook ads folder or advertisement folder. So, so it's really great practice to create folders for creating the workflows. So let's just create a folder for our example. We can create a folder and we can call it a YouTube video test, right? You can already see that there are a lot of folders that are already built. Um, so we have created a new one that is YouTube video test. Now in this screen, you are again, if you want to create another folder, you can again create a new folder, and that will be a subfolder of YouTube video folder. Now, if you want to create a new workflow, you can just go in and create a workflow. Simple. Start from scratch. We are going to see how the recipes work and how what kind of recipes are there, but we will see that in the later part of the video. So right from the scratch, right? So for example, you are doing a workflow name website leads, right? And you will call the workflow maybe 01. So I have already told you that a trigger is a a trigger in a gun, right? Or it, in other words, trigger is a certain or a specific event that will trigger certain actions, right? So let's just see what kind of triggers we have. Once you click on triggers, then you can see there are a lot of triggers over here, right? And these are all related to different um, events. There are events, there are contacts, then there are appointments, then there are affiliates. So most of time you are going to be handling triggers from events, contacts, and uh, the payment and the appointment spot. So let's say just we are building a workflow when a lead comes from our website form, then we want to send them an email, or we want to tag them, or we want to send an internal notification to our team. So for that, if you want to search for a particular trigger, in our case, that is a form, so we will just type in form, right? So if you are really beginner and if you know uh, the marketing language or marketing jargons, then you are definitely going to use those in order to search for specific triggers. And it will make your life a lot more easier because you just have to type in the trigger name and then it is going to give you a lot of triggers related to that particular word or phrase. So the form is submitted, and then every trigger will have filters, right? And filters are just to trigger for a specific form or specific event, right? So in our case, our form is for example, a form is submitted, then the system don't know what kind of form is submitted. So filters are there to help the system to know more about the form name or the attributes of the event that we are going to fire. The form is, we are going to tell which form it is, the form that you just created for your website. So in our case, that is the form. Now, once the trigger is created, the trigger is not limited to a single trigger. You can create multiple triggers, right? So in our case, that was a that was a website form. We are also doing a campaign on Facebook, and the campaign is of the lead forms. So we can say that Facebook lead form submitted. We have to again give the filters to the system. The page is this, and form is this, and say trigger. So then again, you can add another trigger of maybe LinkedIn forms, right? LinkedIn lead forms, right? And you have to specify the page and the form. In our case, we have not integrated LinkedIn, so we will just close that. But just to give you an idea how the triggers are created inside the workflows. So, so the triggers are set, right? And this plus button is a action that you want to do after the trigger is executed. So in our case, we just want to tag them initially, and that will be the action coming from the contacts. So you can go to the contacts, search for contact tag. Once you select that, just give it a name that it was a website lead. Save. This is how um, you're going to build workflows, right? But there are a lot of things that we can do. For example, once that is this action is executed, we can add a wait step. Now, wait step is going to wait for a certain amount of time that you are going to specify in this action, right? For example, we will wait for 3 minutes, and you can also uh, toggle on the advanced windows for business timings. Like you don't want to send messages or emails to the leads if that is a Sunday or Saturday, or if that is out of your office timings or business timings. Click save, right? So the wait is 3 minutes. So once the trigger is submitted, once the lead fills out the form, then immediately a tag will be added, and then it is going to wait for 3 minutes. And then after the wait time of 3 minutes, we are going to send them an email stating that thank you for submitting your form. Um, we will get back to you shortly, right? So click save. So email is going to be sent after waiting for 3 minutes. So then you can click plus button, and if you want to see whether the lead replied to that email, you can type in reply. So you can add a wait step, again, wait step, and then wait for, you can see the wait for, and this will give you time-based wait time. Like, for example, in our case, it is a CRM event in which we are going to see contact replies to our email, then, and we also need to give a timeout in 1 day or 1 hour. So you can see the things are getting a lot bigger, a lot lengthier, and and you can mold your um, workflows according to your business needs. So this is how you're going to build your workflows. It's really simple. You can just practice it on your account for different triggers, different actions, and before you go into start creating, you just need to brainstorm, uh, take out a paper and write it down. What kind of things, or draw a simple structure of the lead flow. Once you get a gist of thing that you're trying to accomplish through workflows, then it is going to be really easier for you to implement it inside the platform. Um, then there is the settings tab, right? So if a lead replies, you can stop the workflow on response. Allow re-entry allows a contact to re-enter once it has left this workflow. You can enable it or disable it. Allow multiple opportunities to enter the same the workflow as separate execution. You can enable it or disable it. It's up to you. Time zone, you can select whether you want to send the lead emails or notifications from your account time zone or the contact time zone. Um, Time windows, for example, you don't want to send the notifications to your internal team and to the lead if the start time is, um, you know, before 8 and after 5 p.m. Then adjust timings by clicking on this and selecting the time that you want for your business. Then there are the sender details like the from name, the lead is going to receive the emails. And there is the from name, from number, um, and that's it. These are the settings of the workflows. Next is the enrollment history. So once the workflow is created, then once you test the workflow, all the leads will be inside this enrollment history. And it is going to tell you that, hey, this lead is stuck in particular action, right? For example, if form is submitted, tag will be added immediately, and then it will stuck on the wait step for 3 minutes, and everything will be inside this enrollment history. And then there is the execution log, right? So this is the enrollment history, how many contacts are enrolled, and that then there is the execution history, what kind of actions have been um, executed for that particular contact. And this is a great way to um, troubleshoot your workflows. For example, if I test this workflow, right, you can select a contact from here, run a test, and then you can see it. So you can see it is stuck on the current wait step, right? So on the execution logs, you can see that added to the workflow, added a tag, and it is currently stuck at the wait time. So if there are if-else statements, and you are not having the same results that you wanted to have, then this is the place where you can see uh, like what kind of, you know, errors or what kind of conditions that you have created are not executing the step that you want. However, that is a very advanced level thing that I have said, but again, once you start playing with the workflows, actions, triggers, filters, then you're definitely going to have more experience, more confidence in building workflows. Then there is the workflow AI, right? You are going to describe like what kind of things that you want to do in a workflow. This is going to give you complete answer. For example, how can I how can I see and and tag a contact if they reply, right? It is going to think and then it is going to give you a response. Set up a reply trigger, add action, how to view tag contacts. So it is really simple, set up a reply trigger. So in order to do that, we are going to create a new workflow and we just have to get a reply trigger, customer replied. We just have to identify a channel, right? Such as email or SMS. Replied channel is email, save trigger, and then add a action of add a tag, contact tag, and this will be executed. So this is how AI is going to help you guys out while building the workflows, and it is of a great help. Now, the next thing is that once you get a good grip of everything, um, then you can start building your own workflows with ease. I just want to touch base on few things, that is templates. Now, templates are great because you don't have to do anything, but you just have to change different um, attributes of the workflow uh, with your business details. For example, if uh, we are doing a lead nurture campaign, we can choose the template, right? So wait for 1 month. We can change it according to our business needs. We can do 3 days, maybe 2 days, maybe save. What is the email about? You can see that. Replace with nurture email and then text, subject, and give the messaging. Click save. Wait for 1 month because it's a long-term nurture sequence. So 1 month is it's great, but you can again replace it according to your need. Once everything is done, like subject lines and email bodies, you'll publish it and you can publish it, and either you're going to create a pipeline stage of long-term nurture sequence once you put all the contact in there. So this will get executed, and the way to do it is that you need to add a new trigger and pipeline stage changed in filters, select a filter in pipeline. For example, this is the one, and you just have to say that pipeline stage is nurture and say trigger. So once it is a particular contact is dragged through that stage, pipeline stage, so these all actions are going to be executed. This is how simple it is to use the recipes inside GoHighLevel. Now then there is the global workflow settings. This is the notification tab, notifications. Um, if you toggle it on, so if there are any problems in the workflows, so the user will be sent notifications, right? You can turn them on or turn it off. If you have a lot of clients and you're doing agency stuff, then this is a great um, setting to have. Autosave is a great feature. When to pause a workflow, you can select time or days and select the workflows. It will be paused, things like that. So this is the um, overall workflow settings. And then once you are inside the contacts, if you want to send um, selected contacts to a workflow, or you want to do a bulk action, then you are going to just select all the contacts. You are then going to select trigger automation, and in here you can select um, the ones you just created. For example, recipe, long-term nurture, send in VIP mode, number of messages 50, repeat after every 1 day, and add to automation. You just have to give it a name, blah, 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 blah. And this is going to execute a bulk action inside GoHighLevel. So I really hope that this video was helpful. Again, the more time you give to um, understanding the triggers, different triggers, playing around with the actions, triggers, testing them out, the more confident you are going to be in executing these workflows. Obviously, it is going to get a lot of your time, but it is worth giving your time in case of any help or in case of any ambiguities. You can comment down in this video about the problem you're having, and we will get back to you ASAP. However, if you are busy and in need of a service, then you can also contact us. Everything will be mentioned in the description of the video. See you in the next video. Thank you.